This is Deb Helfrich, hashtag redheaded She-Hulk. I am Dave Chappelle's soulmate, and I am the creator and so far sole executive producer of the movie Landalosi, a feature film starring myself, Lamont Rucker, and Jill Scott. Yes, I am reuniting Jill Scott and Lamont Rucker on screen. I mean, putting on my executive producer hat. This film's got a built-in audience. We got the whole Tyler Perry verse. Why Did I Get Married fans? Then, I mean, Jill's whole soul diva audience. But the #1 ladies detective agency series, her BBC TV, astoundingly perfect Ma Precious Ramotswe. What if Deb starts tweeting Lamont a 2020 meet cute? Two old college pals. Yeah, we old. And this was a long time ago. Two college pals reunite via a tweet. Start talking about the state of the world. Start talking about how to create entertainment to demonstrate racial harmony. Decide to go on a location scout to Landalosi in northeast South Africa, pretty much equivalent to Gaborone, Botswana, right through Kanye. I'm not joking. You're at Landalosi, you drive west through Kanye, and you end up in Gaborone, Botswana. So, well, what do I do with that fact? The two college pals go on a location scout because we want to do a movie. So I've recently had a midlife metamorphosis and changed not just my physical health, but my mental health, my creativity, my performance capacity, my artistic flow, stream of consciousness just comes out of me like a stand-up improvisational comic. That's why Dave Chappelle is my comedy soulmate. Over this period of time of losing 150 pounds in the 15 months after turning 50, I worked very, very hard to rewire my brain post a toxic mold exposure. And this was, again, so challenging in all the ways that you might think I might have done this. But how I had to do it was as a 333-pound woman who had, like an injured animal, isolated myself to try and get well. And I had ended up spending the last decade in pandemic isolation conditions and ended up without family, friends, or any contact with other humans. So, of course, what do I want to do when I realize that I'm actually able to use my thinking equipment to save my own life? What do I want to do? Well, the first thing I said, and there is a hashtag NFT available to help fund this process, get a digital legacy of a human saving her life and documenting every step of the way. The very first thing I did, and this is 2 years ago, I have an audio voice recorder that said, well, if I'm going to save my life, if I'm going to lose the weight, having been morbidly obese my whole life, if I'm going to figure this out, what do I want to do with my next 50 years? Here's what comes in my mind. I want to pay tribute to the final performance of Rick James and Tina Marie. I'm going to do so at the Apollo. No, I can't sing, dance, stand on stage. But you know what I thought was the biggest problem? I gotta find my Rick James. Well, it only took until September 15th, 2019. This process started well, there's a lot of ways. Where do we call the start process? But the certainty started March 2019 as I turned 50. So by September 15th, in the neighborhood of 6 months later, I know the actual very day that I streamed Sticks and Stones, Dave Chappelle's seminal stand-up philosophy routine. And then I kept going. I did all 4 hours of Dave's last Netflix specials. I couldn't stop because here's what happened. I owe that brother my career. Seeing stand-up philosophy. That's what I was born to do. I didn't know it. Nobody ever saw it in me, but it's the truth. So, of course, Chappelle being all famous for, I'm Rick James, bitch. I'll be like, no, you Rick James, Dave. For me. I mean, Rick James gave Tina Marie her career. You don't see the parallels? I do. Now, the next transition is today, is March 18th, 2021, because this is a hashtag NFT art. It's a digital performance that can create the funding for what's about to unfold. I just need somebody to write a blank check and all this will happen. So today marks this day. Again, very interesting. No time for hibernation, only elation. Q-tip, Dave Chappelle friend. That's his lyric from Scenario. Hibernation was a virtual hermit for a decade, you're hibernating. You sleep in a lot. That's what I did to help rewire my brain from the stroke-like symptoms of a toxic mold exposure. So while I'm hibernating, I'm starting to play creatively. I'm starting to get in my artistic flow. I'm starting to be like, well, I mean, you know, this Rick James Tina Marie tribute, that's not my career. That's a fun challenge. Then Chappelle arrives and YouTube around for my hashtag Chappelle challenge, documenting how I start to become a stand-up one-woman Socratic monologuist. You know, I honor stand-up comedy. I call mine stand-up philosophy because I got some laughs. But I'm more working for light bulbs about human potential as a philosopher of human energy and consciousness who wants to demolish fucking racism this decade. This is what this entercation empire is all about. You see who I'm playing with here. So I'm hibernating. I'm trying to get well. I'm rewiring my brain. My body weight is evaporating. So I start to play. What pieces do I have at my disposal? Well, I went to college with Lamar Rucker. So I'm sort of like, well, I'll write a movie about my health, and it'll be kind of like Julianne Moore did a movie called Safe. So I'll do this, and of course in my version, because I do want to play, because I'm all this energy makes me feel like a child, the childhood that I never got to have. Pretty niche, whatever. So I thought, well, Lamont, I mean, he can help me, network to the right agent, manager, et cetera, et cetera. So that's really where this started. But, what kind of movie audience I got here. And again, I am quite literally trying to look at the very tiny little, how many emails in my inbox, just in case Lamont emails me, because I just tweeted him to do so, DM'd him on the tweeter, because he liked my tweet about setting up a movie with him and Jill Scott. And he liked the one tweet just directly to him when he put up an old, really gorgeous photo of himself as the guy I went to college with. So I put up a photo of me looking way better than I looked at in college. But also in the middle there was a tweet with him and Jill. See, because I know Lamont don't have Jill Scott money. As marvelous as his career is, Jill Scott money, when you are a soul diva from North Philly, so yeah, I really do anticipate, to as we shall play by the Ms. Winfrey, Mr. Perry playbooks, we want to own this. So Jill can have the capacity to purchase this hashtag NFT art explaining the movie in my little neurocomplex way. The movie is about, look at this for a meet cute. Two old college pals get together on the tweeter. Now I think I might be, I might be forgetting there had a first version that froze. So now I can't quite track what I've said and what I haven't said. That's what happens when you get an artistic flow. So, hold on with me there. Yes, I had started to say this. I think I had. Londolozy the movie. The premise is Deb and Lamont meet cute over a tweet, which I have NFTs for purchase of the screen grabs of the tweets of me tweeting to Lamont Rocker. While I'm doing all this to save my life because I got to invent a career. Clearly, I'm not sitting in a cubicle anymore doing forms in triplicate. Who would save their life to get a job? You save your life, you want to invent your own right livelihood. That's stand-up philosophy 101. So I'm hibernating. I'm doing scenario. Hey, yo, Bo knows this, and Bo knows that, and Bo don't know jack, because Bo can't rap. Or what do you know? The Didog is first up to bat. No batteries included, and no strings attached. No holds barred. No time for move faking. Gots to get the move so I can bring home the bacon. Brothers front! They say the tribe can't flow, but we've been known to do the impossible like Broadway Joe. So sleep if you want, my crew will help you get disease troop. And here's the real scoop. I'm all that and then some. Short, dark, and handsome. Bust a nut inside your eye and show you where I come from. I'm vexed, fuming. I've had it up to here. My days of pain, dues are over. Acknowledge me as in there, yeah. Head for the border, go get a taco. I see record from the jump street. Eating from the get-go. Sit back, relax, and let yourself go. Don't sweat what you know and act like you know. Yes, yes, y'all. Who brought the vibe? It's the tribe, y'all, vibe, y'all. Inside, outside, come around. Who's that? Brown. Some may I say, call me Charlie. The word is the herb, and I'm deep like Bob Marley. Oh, yeah. There's all kinds of Jamaican stuff we could talk about. But what I want you to see right there, Rita Wilson? I think I can take her. And the reason I had to do my whole capacity to do all of Fife's lyrics and into Charlie Brown's, don't ever get it twisted. I've been a practicing anti-racist for decades. That is something that the world needs to contend with, both in my hashtag redheaded She-Hulk, stand-up philosophy, one woman Socratic monologues, but also the whole point of Londolozy the movie is to demonstrate racial harmony, is to show one white person who loves to be the only surrounded by hashtag Black excellence. Receipts all over the place. It comes down to this, and again, Jill, I don't know who will finance all this. Maybe Ms. Winfrey, quite frankly. The situation is thus: that to demolish racism, we've tried laws, we've tried movements. As Marvin Gaye sang 50 years ago in What's Going On, only love can conquer hate. Anti-racism, DEI or DEIB, all these kinds of things are all in the frameworks of the heinous delusion of white superiority. Many people will have to, we got to get clear on that because so many people aren't. But being somebody who never, ever, 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 ever got skin twisted. Although I spent the first 17 years of my life in a 98.5% white community. The Tiki Torch Whites of Dave Chappelle, Ohio was where I grew up. The US of hypocrisy need to contend with the fact that while racism is pervasive and we all grew up in this structure, it was perfectly easy for white people to see the delusion of white superiority. I did it. I doubt I'm the only one, but I am certainly very likely the only one to be going, who's going to introduce me to Ms. Winfrey? When you are able to put away all of the doubt, all of the negative voices, and actually say, I'm Dave Chappelle's comedy soulmate, it comes true. Well, you could say, what I got in my head, it's neurodiverse and it's all really amorphous. I want a lot of collaborators, right? I've been alone for a decade. I'm trying to create a career and invent, a whole entercation empire. Well, if this is going to be what I think it is Ms. Winfrey, who, first of all, has the integrity to be able to shepherd this, but also who will, you're Oprah. I'm not. But let's pretend we are. Anything. Have anything. The entire planet Earth is a playground. Well, what Ms. Winfrey, I'm certain, enjoys is the novelty of finding somebody who's just like, whew, I don't want to invent a way to play the game of life that comes from my own soul. She did it. I'm sure she can feel somebody else able to do that. So all of this will unfold. You see, it's all circular. It's like, I don't know precisely how, but again, I'm not at all unable to get on a stage with Dave Chappelle tomorrow. You want to hire me? I'm there. Dave Chappelle. Everything in Sticks and Stones is like, this is easy. You're all too dumb for me. I can handle this. Bourdain created the best job in the world. Again, in your Mark Twain speech, you're going to block and tackle for anyone who wants to stand on the stage and speak their truth. Chappelle's been like basically texting me. I'm sorry, I can't text you back, Dave. I'm dead fucking broke. Somebody buy some NFTs, EFT me some funds, and then I'll get the collaborators, pay them, and we'll get this going. Londolozy the movie, to finish this up. Two college pals tweet, Lamont Rucker, Deb Halfrich. We are the characters and also the stars. We go to Londolozy, just like Chappelle, to South Africa when we can't deal with the US of hypocrisy anymore. While Lamont and I are there, and I swear, this was created in June 2019. While we're in Southern Africa, perhaps intending to go to Gaborone, Botswana, the baddie, the evil in the movie is what I call all seasonal sunlight flu. I prognosticated COVID. This is what happens when you're rewiring your brain in hibernation and you're playing and you're having fun and it's all just, I deserve to be on this planet. I deserve, again, I'm in my own mind. I mean, I'm typing things and emailing myself, having a digital legacy of this creative process. But most of us won't even allow ourselves to dream. That's my well-being philosophy work as well. Help people stop kneecapping them, their own playful, joyful nature. So Lamont and I are at Londolozy. There starts to be this crazy flu. And the pattern is people get sick for 5 days and well for 2 days, and sick for 5 days and well for 2 days, and sick for, it's just like people just can't get well. Like they like 5 days of like not get out the bed flu, and then they well for 2 days. Now, you know what I'm talking about. And of course, you know, somebody will get the flu on Monday and somebody will get the flu on Thursday. So all of a sudden, sick leave evaporates. This is what I consider the baddie in the movie I wrote in 2019. And financial chaos ensues. So Lamont and Deb had flown from Seattle, and that was where they first started noticing the sunlight flu, all seasonal sunlight flu. And, you know, people were like, at this point, we can't just keep blaming, you know, the swine and the birds. What's causing this flu? And I mean, again, the 5 days sick, 2 days well, everything. And somebody's like, it's like the sun is causing the flu. What a movie scene, right? All seasonal sunlight flu. Deb, everyone in Seattle's gotten it. It was like in February or something. And Deb is in Southern Africa, vibrantly alive. And then it's like, well, how come? And we start, you know, talking about it with other people and everything. And all seasonal sunlight flu is spreading across the globe. It's causing all sorts of mayhem. But we're just in Africa, location scouting, talking to people. And Lamont and I mean, we're both very intelligent people. We start to be like, well, maybe there's something to African ancestral well-being strategies that we can share with the world. Like this could be part of this movie that we're making, because we're making it about some of what I had done at the bleeding edge of neuroscience and altered states of consciousness and physiology and all of the valid stuff you can discover on the internet. It's how I saved my life. We're in Africa. We're not coming back for a while because I'll see some sunlight flu. And we start to go, well, what if we could share both right now and ancestral African well-being strategies? The movie unfolds as Deb's digging it up. And we're demonstrating racial harmony. We're putting an extremely pale woman 3 feet or long, red hair. As just the catalyst to celebrate our African ancestors who understood human health so well that they migrated across the globe. That over millennia, we ended up in 2020 with 7.8 billion humans, most of whom are crazy dumb. We're all African ancestrally. Just because I got pale, arctic-hued skin, red hair and freckles means I'm 2/3 visually African. That's right. If you look at this through evolutionary logic, which is my stand-up philosophy, #well-being philosophy, core strategies for life-centric thinking is to look at evolution. If humans originated on Africa, that means there is no such thing as Aboriginal Australians. We have no data that humans just spontaneously arose on Australia or anywhere in the American continental chain. The Aztecs, the Mayans, the Aboriginal Australians, they're all Africans who went on rowabout. This is the Dave Chappelle Sticks and Stones equivalent. I'm just going right into everything. Lon Delosey needs an African screenwriter, first and foremost, to help me get, the script pulled together. I've got the treatment and all of this, and I have proprietary intellectual property as a philosopher, talking about the science of melanin, talking, again, just putting the context of red hair and freckles in the fact that there are redheads in Papua New Guinea. How that occurred would have been Eastern Africans rowing. So red hair and freckles is pretty old. It's early adaptation of humanity. So when it comes to being an old soul, I got receipts. This is some of why I'm in a real unique position. Because I am a philosopher. I talk deep and complexly. But I also know that nobody's sitting through philosophy lectures anymore, even though only a few of you will listen to even this 33-minute Pippin version of my big, not so fat midlife metamorphosis. So I did the whole scenario wrapping to say that I can, challenge Rita Wilson and win. And that was supposed to bring me into the fact that I'm asking Lamont and Jill Scott to be my Tom and Rita, because I'm the next Nia Vardalos. My big, not so fat midlife metamorphosis. That is the documentary. So I got all three. I got the stand-up philosophy career. I've got the feature film that I'm creating, starring in, and the character. And then a documentary about all this. Because I'm mindfully, consciously creating my own best right livelihood while considering every single one of the 7.8 billion humans on planet Earth and our situation here in a pandemic-altered world. During March 2020, now 1 year ago, precedent left Earth. And yet all I'm seeing, every which way I look, is people acting as if business as usual. Everything's falling apart, yet business is proceeding without altering in any way. I can disrupt that. I'm gonna be alive for another 50 years as soon as somebody helps me be not dead bankrupt. As soon as I get some people to purchase this NFT art, that I'm inventing new ways to call myself a performance artist. Londelozzi, you know, when you have to cross movies. I crossed The Fifth Element, although in all honesty, I'm the fifth force, with Black Panther, although in real life Botswana, not make believe Wakanda, crossed with A Wrinkle in Time. The theme of this movie is that love plus science can save human lives, just like A Wrinkle in Time. Crossed with A United Kingdom, Amasante's incredible movie about Botswana and Sir Seretse Khama and his wife Ruth. That's a Pippin. Harmony, y'all.